In the spring of 2015, 6 of my friends and I decided to make a 3-day backpacking trek in North Carolina. The trip was planned to be 4 days total, 3 days and 2 nights on the trail, along with a 3rd night at a hotel before returning home. The trail we chose starts high on a ridge before descending 1,400 feet down to a river at the base of the Linville Gorge, a deep canyon valley with steep rocky walls that level out to the riverbed. The loop runs a total of 22 miles over various terrain, crossing the river twice. Leading into the trip, we all had a bit of skepticism about our skill level and preparedness, especially our parents, but there was no doubt that we were excited. We felt as if we had achieved a new level of freedom, but we didn't exactly know how to describe it. On the first day, the initial incline consisted of frequent stops to readjust our packs, confirming a bit of our skepticism. But our spirits were high as we neared the top and moved further away from civilization. After a mile or so of incline, we reached the top of the ridge and got to witness the beautiful views it had to offer. Our jaws dropped as we peeked over the edge of the massive rift. It seemed to stretch forever in either direction. I felt like I was on top of the world as I became both obsessed and overwhelmed by the artwork of nature sitting on an easel right before my eyes. As we hiked along the ridge, some issues came to the surface. 2 of our friends began to grow painful blisters on their feet from all of the walking. Also, neither of them had hydrated before the hike, and they began to experience painful cramps in their legs, causing us to take several lengthy breaks. The trail followed the ridge for several miles. Then it began to descend through a tunnel of thick adolescent pine trees that tugged at our packs as we passed through. The end of our downward trek was steep and dangerous, with loose footing and fallen trees crossing our path. We set up camp near the river, and shortly after eating we quickly fell asleep, fatigued from hauling our cumbersome packs about 10 miles.
Out here on the morning of day 2, here at base camp 1. Brushing my teeth, natural falls.
The next morning, we woke up to the sound of water flowing steadily down the river. I couldn't wait to get on the trail after what I had seen the day before. The rest of the crew was a bit sluggish with achy muscles and sore feet. After we hit the trail, our spirits were lifted by fantastic views of the ridge looming over the river. Since we only had to travel 6 to 8 miles that day over mostly flat terrain, we could afford to take it easy and enjoy the walk. We even stopped at a swimming hole to take a dip. As the miles passed by, our experiences brought us closer and closer together as a group. We had all been friends for a couple years, but this off-the-grid bonding allowed us to truly trust each other.
It's the morning of day 3, and got some rain, some wind last night. Lou got a little wet. Sam got soaked in his hammock. Dan's feeling good. We're cooking up a fire over there. It's looking good.
At the start of day 3, we had pushed aside the thoughts of our muscle fatigue and lack of energy. Even the rain couldn't put us down. We were enjoying the company of one another, isolated from the rest of society. As we made our way back toward the car, I had no doubt that I would remember this experience and group of people for the rest of my life, and that I would come to define this newfound freedom as adulthood.
Everyone's getting ready. Chad's out there pooping somewhere.
Chad! Yep, Chad's up
Yeah, he's pooping.
a little bit.
Right, we just finished the loop. What do you have to say?
Nigga, we made it.
Boom, boom, boom. Got back to the bourbon after that trip.
Hey.
Finally home. Well, home to the bourbon.
I can't get my leg in.
Sam just had a little drained out.
Can't get in the bourbon, dude.
Chad, what do you have to say about the 3 days? Yeah, that's all we need. That's all we need. That's that.
Here, let me get him in there. Just a little more. Just a little farther, Sam.
This is a bloopers. This is bloopers on that.
You're on
Yo, change. When you get tired, go.
Is he walking? Oh. Messing with Sasquatch.
Kodak. I didn't know they made cameras. Are you serious?